The first four thrusts dealt with our own personal transformation and a response to the need of vulnerable members of our community. This time, we focus on the call of Pope Francis in his encyclical Laudato Si and the universal apostolic preferences. The fifth thrust asks us to care for a common home. We only have one planet and we all share this home. What we do affects the whole humanity. Caring for our common home means caring for our fellow human beings, which brings about welfare for all. The fifth thrust focuses on personal and collective ecological conversion. We are called to become more conscious of the effect of our actions on the environment. In our daily life, we are called to become more conscientious about the use of our resources and products together with its wastes, as these have an overall impact on the environment. This can be realized in various aspects: communities, workspaces, and businesses.
My name is Jose Ramon Tizon Villarin, and I have been missioned to go back to teaching at the Ateneo and doing research on climate change at the Manila Observatory. We are seeing right before our very eyes the degradation of our environment, of our common home. Pope Francis himself has already sounded the alarm for us as well in his encyclical Laudato Si. The damages that we have wrought are worrisome, especially when it comes to climate change. What we are seeing is a catastrophe actually that's looming on the horizon if we do not do anything right now. The challenge, and it's a difficult challenge, it's also an ambitious challenge, is to bring down our carbon emissions from about 51 billion tons a year to zero by mid-century, by 2050. That is not easy. The province has 5 thrusts. The 5th thrust is personal and collective ecological conversion. The potential destruction of this planet, of our common home, that risk is real. It is no longer just a theoretical picture that scientists have painted. We are seeing these impacts even now. All these effects, these physical effects, will actually affect our health. Hunger will worsen in a globally warmer world. Public health. We face the degradation of our land and sea ecosystems and greater social inequality. Globally, studies estimate that probably a third of the countries, the poorest, will suffer about 20% loss in their GDP. their earning power. So these are truly worrisome concerns. What do we need to do? We need to lobby. We need to engage the international community because we cannot do this alone. We have to engage. We have to lead. Not just communities, but even countries. In terms of collective action, aside from the lobbying, we need to sustain these networks between or among the private sector, the public sector, and civil society. We need to influence markets, technology, governance. These are the things we need to do on a collective level. On a personal level, we need to look at ourselves because this crisis is more than just a physical, environmental crisis. It is a spiritual crisis. So we need to unplug and stay healthy if we are to be resilient. We need to look at our impact on the environment. We need to reconnect with God. We need to ask with God, what are we here for? Why are we here? What's the point of being in this universe? The first story we hear in the Bible is the story of our origin and the reason why we are here. We are told that we were placed in a garden and we were told to take care of this garden. This garden is not perfect. This garden is unfinished. The reason we are here, the reason we are created in God's image and likeness, is to tend this garden, to protect this garden to a fullness that God had always meant for it. And the fullness of this garden, this home, will also be our fullness, will be our meaning. And so we need to go back. We need to reconnect with our roots. There are many other things we need to do. We need to simplify. Simplify, simplify. Perhaps we need to go and try fasting again and feed the hungry. We have a short runway. If we need to change things by mid-century, 2050, we need to start things now. The longer we delay, the more expensive it will be. From now till 2030 is a 10-year runway, actually 9 years. Is there hope? Do we need to turn to young people for hope? We have no choice. We have to hope. Is it possible? Are there hints, glimpses of this hope? If this pandemic has taught us anything, it is that if we come together, even the science, we can create miracles. Vaccines normally are invented, and the runway that is needed to invent these vaccines are what, 5 years, 10 years? We did it in record time if we came together, if we come together. If we want to decarbonize our economy, they say, it's very difficult. That's what we said too about vaccines. And so, there is time. There is still enough time. We can leave something better for our children.